Hey everybody, welcome to Saturday Night Special. Luigi Scarcelli here. We are starting a new format here on Saturday Night Special. If you've watched our show over the years, you've noticed that most of the time we do live comedy and concerts, but from here on out, we're doing our best to also feature the performers in those concerts. So we're very blessed to have one of the performers we'll be seeing tonight, Kalen Lister, who will be playing at the Bayside. We filmed a couple weeks ago. Great show, and I want to thank you so much for being here, Kalen, from New York City.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure, sure. So we're going to be seeing the show in its entirety. Great show, 8 songs. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about you because your music is very personal, and people are going to be curious. They're going to want to know a little bit more about the writer, the songwriter, the singer, the piano player behind it. So you were born here in Maine, I think?
Yeah, I was born in New Hampshire and
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
spent my childhood in New Hampshire and Maine before moving away to college, where I went to school in Philadelphia, and then I moved to New York and have spent some time in Maine, kind of back and forth between Maine and New York.
So you're full-time now in New York.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Went to school in Philadelphia. Was that a good experience? I know that's a great city.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very cool city.
Now, were you studying music in school or was that a side passion?
I was not. I was studying fine arts.
Okay.
Fine arts and anthropology, but it was actually a really amazing sculpture teacher and the head of the fine arts department who really kind of pushed me into music. Hopefully not because they thought my fine art was terrible.
Yeah.
um, but they could just tell it was part of my I I guess a vehicle for expression. And so once I moved to New York, I really wanted to pursue music, even though I'd only done so much of it in school. I had written some songs, I had sung in bands, but I didn't really know that it was going to be my life's work and passion. But I moved here because I wanted to be ensconced in the scene, and it's sort of interesting because this album that I performed at Bayside Bowl, Velvet Night, has been a return to visual art for me in sort of a much more concrete way than anything I had done since college. But I came here to New York. I did a million open mics. I sang, as like a paid gigs as a backup singer for certain bands, and met people through that. Started a punk rock sort of performance funk project called Ladybug Stingray.
Yeah.
Um, Always did some solo stuff on the side. Then had a band called Kalen and the A-Listers, then had a band called Kalen and the Sky Thieves. That's the band that, was on Rope-A-Dope Records, which is a Philly label, and that's actually the band that first brought me back, like, up to Portland and to kind of get ensconced in that scene, which was great because I really wanted it to be my satellite music home since it's where all my family is. So, touring with that band, went up to Portland, met a wonderful sound guy named Frank at Empire who plugged me in with Will Bradford, and sort of the rest is history. I met a ton of incredible musicians through Will Bradford, and we've shared and swapped shows. We've sung on each other's projects. He's produced songs for me. Um, and Dan Capaldi, who played the Bayside Bowl gig with me and basically plays every show I have done and probably will ever do in Portland. I met him through Sea Peoples and through Will Bradford as well.
And so your music is very stripped down at keyboard bass. Were you always a keyboard instrumentalist? Do you also kind of dabble in other things or?
Yeah, so as you see here, I have my sitting at my piano.
Yeah, yeah.
This album was really stripped down, and it's not most of what I've put out before. Most of the songs that I put out have been much more produced, but the seed of the song always comes from this place. Me at the piano singing vocals, lyrics. So once there's a label called High for Head Records based out of the UK. And I had had some dealings with Nick, the label head, through my band Death by Piano, which is a sticker for it,
Yeah.
which is very different. It's like a trip hop, dark wave theatrical project. But he was really always into the stripped down versions of my solo songs and urged me to put out an album that was sort of naked, if you
Yes.
will.
Hmm.
And so that's where the Velvet Night came from. He sort of pushed me on that idea, and it was interesting and awkward to kind of just let the songs be enough
Hmm.
on their own. There were moments where I felt like so validated. Wow, this song doesn't need to have, a huge orchestration behind it or production. And then there were other times where it was totally terrifying to have it be so exposed.
Hmm.
So the album itself it's 6 songs that I had put out in the world before as produced versions, really stripped down, and then 6 new songs that had never been released before.
Yeah, and it has a very retro feel to it. The flavor, the texture, to the
Mm.
keyboard playing, the singing. I mean, in the best sense of the word, it has a very loungy feel to it.
Mm.
Very kind of like maybe like playing somewhere in a very casual, mellow setting. But
Yeah,
at least some of the songs are a little more
totally.
intense too. And
Totally,
yeah,
yeah. No, I mean, and that's what this album is meant to be. It's meant to feel like something you could hear in a salon show in a living room.
yes,
And so the release shows around it, Bayside Bowl, we tried to kind of make it feel as intimate as possible to serve the songs. The Brooklyn release was in a music recording studio, and the whole thing was recorded and will be released eventually. And then all the other gigs that I have until the end of the year are actually just in people's living rooms, salons, which is sort of the best way to present these songs, kind of stories to tell to intimate groups.
and we're going to talk about each of the songs because we're going to start out with, I think it would be fun to do chunks of two and then come back and talk about the other two
Sure.
throughout the set, kind of in chronological order. Um, Kind of always the question. It's kind of hard to ask because it is so interesting with that there's so much a wide gamut of what you play. But with this album, was there any influences particularly that popped into your mind that you kind of thought were interesting?
It's a good question. Um, I mean, I feel like my mom's old vinyl collection. My
Yeah.
mom was someone who went to Woodstock and has always been really into music. She played piano and guitar. And it's not like she was constantly playing when I was a kid, but there was there was just still sort of that exposure, and that exposure to her record collection, which ran from classic rock to jazz. And so I think a lot of those like songwriters of the 70s, and a lot of them, tipped towards more jazzy. There are people who use a lot of extensions on their chords. There are people who aren't trying to do like a 3-chord pop song.
Yes.
They're pop songs, but they're more elaborate. And so then for this, I guess I was also just trying to let the piano grow to be its own orchestration. And I don't consider myself to be a great piano player. I'm a decent keyboard player. Um, but I really wanted there to be some of the lushness that I often then can have in the instrumentation and arrangements on more produced things. I wanted some of that to exist. And so, also you heard a song that all the songs that are going to be played here were songs that are played on the keyboard and the Nord. So I have a little bit more ability to play with the sounds there
Yes.
than I do when I'm just on a piano, and the album itself is sort of just on the piano, so
Interesting. Yeah, no, I like that. And I think people will get a kick out of it. And that's a good reason to go buy the album. How can they buy the album? So they can hear something a little bit of a different way? Because I do enjoy that I notice that you, seems like at times you get to play around with the sounds a little bit. And I
Mhm.
really like that. And maybe it's because I'm a kid of the 70s myself. And that
Totally.
vibe. Yeah. And so, but if they want to hear the album, they can get that on iTunes. Spotify is a place to listen.
So,
Where's the best?
actually,
Yeah.
none of those places yet.
Okay.
It's not available for streaming until next year.
Okay.
Right now, it's only available on Bandcamp.
Okay.
So
So
if people go to my website, Kalen Music, KALEN music.com, they can find the album there.
so there is a place to find it. It's just
There is a
yeah,
place to find it.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah, it's
Bandcamp.
just it has to be, yeah, purchased through Bandcamp.
So with the first song, could you tell us a little bit about that so when the folks have a chance to listen to it, they get a little understanding of where you were coming from with it?
Sure.
Yeah,
So what I'll do also as I'm telling you about the songs is I'm going to sort of show you this
sure.
is rather than producing a CD or a vinyl for this particular album, I made a zine, like a magazine, and it contains lyric artwork that I made for each and every song.
Mhm.
So all of the lyrics from the song are in it, along with watercolors and drawings and some collage that I did.
Mm.
So Fits of Fever is this one here. And Fits of Fever was about it's a song I wrote because my daughter, who's 5.5 now, had febrile seizures. I say had because hopefully it's in the past tense, knock on wood. And it was totally terrifying, like for a parent to experience that, especially the first time when we didn't know what was happening. But the song itself is not just about that. It's not like about the trauma of that moment. It's more about trying to also understand where she was when she left us. When she was in a state where she was seizing and then a postictal state after the seizure. It's so bizarre because it's like this loved one who you have the most intimate relationship with is completely elsewhere even though they're physically there next to you. And so there were there were things that happened other times where she had seizures too, where she had these very strange visualizations that were so real to her. And so the song is sort of dealing with that mix of emotions and the curiosity about what are you seeing? And I really hope that your experience isn't one of fear, that it's not scary for you, even though it's scary for us. And maybe some other dimension is opening up for you entirely.
Yeah, that's definitely a personal song, and
Yeah.
yeah, and so we're all feeling good though. She hasn't had any more seizures
She hasn't
recently.
had one in a while,
Yeah.
and children grow out of them around 5 and 6. So hopefully they're a thing of the past.
Yes, and I think we're going to do the second song. And do you have that as a as another part of the zine too, or?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Seducer. Let me find it here. Seducer is, oh, nope, that's Rabid Girl. This is Seducer.
Yes.
And Seducer's completely different song.
Yes.
Completely different kind of personal song. It was about a a guy, a relationship that I had that was sort of caught me off guard and somebody who, there are kinds of the Casanovas and the types of people who we all think of as being like seducers, right? Or
Mhm.
seductresses. But
Mhm.
this was somebody who I never pegged to be that kind of person. But there was a lot that was magnetic and attractive about them. And I sort of fell under that spell and ended up feeling a little bit like duped, a little bit cheated, a little bit taken advantage of. And so the song explores that from kind of like a sassy, how dare you
Mm.
place.
Yes, and I can attest to with the lush and mellowness kind of on the first song, as I remember, is
Mm.
counterpoint. The second song is much more punchy. Or is that? I think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's much more sort of like blues.
Yep,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. A lot more stuff with Dan on the drums too, doing kind of point counterpoint with you in a lot of ways. It's a lot of fun. So if you can stick around with us, we're going to take a look at those two songs. Then we'll come back and hopefully we can talk about the next couple songs in the zine and on the album. Once again, Kalen Lister. Check these songs out if you would like to purchase them. Go to the website. You said Kalen
Kalen
Music.
Music.
Yep. .com.
.com.
Yep. And then that should direct you to Bandcamp, I believe. and you can find it there. So let's hear those right now, and then we'll be right back after this with more with Kalen.
Your fits of fever, spirit sees your circuits as their own. Hands upon you, grope to ground you, but your space bound up. Can you hear us? Can you feel us trying to pull you out? Dive through the dark, starless blue. Does it look like diamonds to you? We're gonna catch you when you come down. Shake it up, shake it off, it's done now. There's no one there. What have they done seizing you? So languid and so scared. Slowly, sleepily you swim through the clinging clouds. Start to surface, start to know us as we cry aloud. Dive through the dark, starless blue. Does it look like diamonds to you? We're gonna catch you when you come down. Shake it out, shake it off, it's done now. Dive through the dark, starless blue. Does it look like diamonds to you? Dive through. Dive through. We're gonna catch you when you come down. Shake it up, shake it off, it's done. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite lovers, but we're not quite friends. Where's the river stop and the ocean begin? We're put to the water where we cannot swim. Over and over and under again. Oh baby, take me back to the bench where you found me. You're a covert operator. You this now, never fucking thrill. We're both burning a fire, that dissatisfied vein that keeps us searching, my baby, over and under again. So take me back to that bench where you found me, or a covert operator. Do this now, never later. Take me back to that time when you tamed me. You're a deaf to women, man, and baby, you don't understand. Seducer, 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 seducer. You don't know yourself. Words come tumbling, baby, out of your busy mouth to fill the ones that you have right now. They're echoes, baby, you seem to disavow. Take me back to the bench where you found me, or a covert operator. Do this now, never, ever, ever, ever later. Take me back to the time when you tamed me. You're a deaf to women, man, and that's what my mama calls you, baby. You don't understand. Seducer, 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 seducer,
Everybody, we're back again, Saturday Night Special. We're here with Kalen. Great songs, Kalen. Thanks again. So
you.
we're going to kind of go right through all of the songs on the performance. So would you be happy to tell us a little bit more about the next song? That was the third song of the performance?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the third song, Dan Step to the Side, I wanted to give the audience a chance to hear sort of just me and the piano because it's very true to the album. On the album itself, which just came out last month, there are songs that have saxophone on them. There are a few songs that have saxophone. There are some songs that are just me and the piano, and then there are two songs that have some light instrumentation and strings and synths. Um, Through the Rain
Mhm.
is a song. This is the zine lyric art from it. It's actually a print that I did as a back in the day when I did printmaking. Um, and so I sort of cut it up and manipulated it for this purpose. But Through the Rain is the one song on the album that I co-wrote with somebody else. I co-wrote it with Noel Cohen, who's a wonderful New York songwriter. And the song's a little different. It sounds, I think, much more like almost like an old jazz ballad. A
Yes.
B A B structure, and I sort of love that about it. I love that I can step into my imagination of that sort of performance, like stepping into a satin gown and the tradition of, incredible vocalists before me. And the song was written at a time when I was in a relationship that just wasn't great. The person couldn't really show up for me. And it came from a romantic place, but at Bayside Bowl, what I actually shared was that I was thinking about it more from a friendship place because I had my parents were there in the audience and a whole lot of their friends who were really like my aunts and uncles growing up were there. And I was thinking about how so many of those friendships had lasted through the years and through all the different chapters of my parents' life and through the scary times and the hardships and through the beautiful times. And so, whether it's a romantic partnership or whether it's a friendship, the sort of like chosen family that we have and wanting to find people who can last with us through those seasons and through the downpours, if you will.
Yeah. And I think we're going to do two songs in this
Okay.
section. And did you have a second song or?
Yeah, so Lighter,
Yep.
find it.
Yes.
Lighter, there's a song about actually that relationship from Through the Rain
Yeah. Okay.
breaking.
Yep.
And in spite of how painful that was, really the major emotion that I felt pretty soon after was one of relief
Okay.
and one of getting lighter because, because it wasn't aligned with where I was, even though I felt like it was what I wanted. It was kind of an albatross. It was chains and like re-emerging into my solitude, but like the all the potential of my own life was such a relief. And so I think that's a feeling that a lot of people can relate to, whether it's leaving a job that was, no good for them, or a relationship and that feeling of getting lighter, or whether it's moving through a time of depression or hardship, um, that things can get lighter and we can kind of start to soar, start to fly, start to float, start to yeah.
Be lighter, yeah. Now, have you always felt that because I noticed that your music and the lyrics have a lot of the same vibe, which is what you always want in a perfect world. Have you
Mhm.
felt that you've been able to blend those well together for most of your songwriting time, that you can get that vibe of the music to fit really well with what you're singing about? May I
Yeah,
ask-
it's a great question.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's really important to me. Like it's called the prosody
Okay.
of the lyric and the music, like being in partnership, and so that the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts.
Mhm.
And I love that word, but more I love the concept. And so um that's the beauty to me of having lyrical music, and sort of the point that the music should serve the lyric and that the lyric should serve the music. And even when I'm playing with like jazz guys or people who are maybe like I really never listened to the lyric, I sort of am always like, well, but please do.
Yes, right.
That's what we're serving, that story. And maybe the feel can just be there for them instrumentally, but it kind of all is of a part together. So yeah, I really love that element of songwriting.
Now, is it, I sense in a sense already, especially with these two songs we're just talking about now, that they have a correlation together. It's one is
Mhm.
this, the relationship, then getting out of it. Is the functionality of this 8 songs that we're hearing tonight, is that all in an order that's really specific, or are there, because some people have an album that it's just a bunch of songs. Other people, maybe it's like a concept album or something where the whole thing is like getting you from point A to point Z, and you're not supposed to think that these are all different interchangeable songs, that this is one through line, or is it somewhere in between, or?
Totally. I'd say it's probably more in between. I definitely love putting on shows that are more concept shows. And even if they're not directly narrative, that there's a theme connecting them.
Mhm.
This collection of 12 songs wasn't quite that. I would
Yeah,
totally be lying if I said it was,
right.
but there are a lot of threads
Yeah,
that
yeah.
weave together. And it's sort of, some of these songs were songs that I'd written many moons ago. And others are songs that I've written since, becoming a wife, since becoming a mother. And so they really just travel the journey of my life with me, not in a chronological manner, but sort of just like exploring exploring that development
Yeah.
and yeah, humanity, I guess.
Exactly. Kind of and where, you know, and everything that I think as all artists do, it's all a summing up of where you are now, kind of in your journey in life. And it's, you couldn't have made this album 10 years ago, and you probably couldn't have 10 years from now. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be a snapshot of where you're at.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah.
let's take a listen to those two songs, then we'll come back with Kalen again, and we'll kind of wrap up the rest of the songs and talk a little bit more about where we'll be performing upcoming. I know you talked a little bit about it, but I think people are super interested and want to hear more. So we'll be right back with Kalen right after this.
I need someone who can walk with me through the rain. Someone to stand by me when the good times turn to pain. There are the ones who turn and run when the skies go gray, but I need someone who can walk with me through the rain. Sometimes tried everything. I'd fallen for you and then for hope. To both I clung so tightly, I wasn't sure if I could let go. But I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Since you let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Well, people kill 'cause they're scared of death, you said. Yeah, well, none were as frightened as you. I guess you've got some killing ahead, but me, I've got living to do. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Since you let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Spring was late to arrive that year. I watched the buds hide their hearts from the cold, till the fire it leapt towards the branches by the shore of Williams Lake down below. Sure, we drought had the timing been different, that the branches would burst forth with growth. Well, they did when we finally let go. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Since you let me go, let me go, let me go. You let me go. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. I'm getting lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter. Lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter, love, lighter.
Hey, everybody, we're back again with Kalen. Great stuff again. Very fun time at Bayside. I want to also give a shout out to Angelica Ferre, one of the openers. I know her name is Grace. I don't know a ton more about her, but Grace was awesome too. And it was a great triple bill in a sense. Very fun times. Go to Bayside Bowl. That is a really fun spot for live music. I love their stage. It's so nice and mellow. And I just love the crowd there all the time. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Will Bradford, great guy. He's the booker there.
Yep.
So yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about the next two songs, because I know that was when it got really interesting. At some point, Dan comes back in with you.
Yeah. So I did one more song solo,
Yep.
which was Island.
Okay.
And actually was thinking as we were talking, you know, so many of my songs reference nature. And as a part Mainer,
Mm.
I nature is such a part of my soul. And even though I was the person who wanted to move to the big city and really loves living here, I am really at home when I am in the middle of nature. And so much of my music is references the forces of nature, the power of nature, probably because that's where I came from and what feels like home. And so Island does that. This is the piece for Island, also a combination of some old printmaking I had done and some new painting that I had done. And this was a song about another song about a past relationship, different one that didn't work, since every relationship until my current marriage didn't work, right?
Yeah, hence exactly.
As goes with us.
Mhm.
But we learned something from all of them, and I certainly learned a lot about myself through that one and through trying to be with somebody who really wasn't able to give in a different way than through the rain, but someone who was very very stoic and very private to the point that um yeah, sort of they were a fort and
Mm,
couldn't get in. So that's what Island explores. And I played that one solo. And on the album, there's some beautiful strings and instrumentation written by an incredible producer and drummer named Tom Marsh, who is actually my collaborator for a lot of my Death by Piano trip hop music. But he came in and did something really stripped down on Island and on Red Moon.
very
And
cool.
then Dan
Yeah,
joined me
what's that?
again
Yeah.
for the last 3 songs, which was awesome,
Mhm.
and I played Black Ice, which was one of my favorites from the album.
Yes.
And it was really, really cool one to work on with Dan because originally we had this idea that maybe he would jump around between different instruments because he can do that. And it was sort of too much. It was too much for something that was meant to be simple. But we explored the full dynamics of what he could do with his voice and with a really stripped down drum kit.
Yeah.
And I love what he came up with for Black Ice. Not only was he singing some harmonies and some backups, but he beatboxed on
Yeah.
it in the most subtle, supportive way while also adding some four on the floor with the kick drum really, really gently, just this pulsing. And it was so different than the interpretation that I did with percussion and sax and guitar in New York, so different from what's on the album as well. Um, so that's a really fun one that I'm excited for people to check out. The song itself was about a friend going through a hard time, and I really felt like I wasn't able to be there for them in the way that I would have loved to have been. But life, they were on the other side of the world. I had a young kid. Um, and so it really was me sort of asking the question, do we do enough for the people in our life? Do we do enough for the people we love? Um,
Yeah, and it's we want to definitely give a shout to Dan because he's a local guy that's just such a stupendous musician. Is
mhm.
working with him, is that interesting? And you're saying because he is so artistic that he can be a collaborator versus if you just had a person that came in and they're just saying as the drummer and they're
Yeah.
they're just like, well, I'm just gonna just tell me what to do. But with him, he's a musician who plays drums as one of his things. So that's where, and so you were able to both brainstorm in a way or
Mhm.
collectively collaborate on some of those interesting things. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It was wonderful. I mean, I'm such a sucker for the act of collaboration that I even if I have a clear idea on certain things, I really want to leave space for the people that I'm bringing in to play with me because I think that, as long as they're a listener and I'm going to bring in people who are listeners, then they're going to have better ideas than I would have for them in some sort of directive way. And so Dan is totally like that. And he brings such vibe and presence and thoughtfulness to any moment he's in, but certainly his musical moments. And so we met and we talked on the phone and we tried a Zoom rehearsal for Brooklyn and which worked to kind of get him familiar with some of the songs he didn't know. Some of my songs he already knows because we've played together many times throughout the years. And then we kind of emailed some more ideas back and forth, and then we got together at his studio, which I hear you're gonna go check out.
Yeah. Yeah. Checking that out.
Yeah, he's a fabulous producer working with a lot of like young and budding bands in Portland. And so it was really fun, and he surprised me with some of the ideas that he brought to that.
Yeah, and as a collaborative person, you like adductive stuff, people that will take what you're doing and keep adding to it. And I've dabbled in music forever, and it's what I do notice is any song that you hear and it's all of the, bells and whistles, everything that's been put on the studio. Oftentimes when you'd hear of my generation, MTV Unplugged or something, and they strip it all the way down, the nuts and bolts are still really good. It can sound good on the smallest scale and on the largest scale, but if you have people that you like working with, they'll add a little something that is their own secret recipe to that sauce, and it just makes it better. Yeah. And
Totally, it elevates it.
and what are you going to be doing more stuff down the road with bigger musicians, or do you want to keep more on the strip down for a while? I know you were playing smaller stuff for a while and kind of doing your own thing a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, in honor of this album, I think the most that I want to do with it currently is sort of what I did for the release show here in New York, which was saxophone, backup vocals, percussion, guitar, and a guitar player who switched between guitar and bass. Even though that sounds like a lot, they brought such sensitivity and dynamics to the songs that I really felt like the song was still cutting through. Um, and so, in honor of this album, I'm going to do everything from just solo,
Yeah.
totally stripped down, be it me at a piano or me at the keyboard, to these slightly different flavors and iterations depending upon where I am and who's there. Um, yeah, and it's in huge contrast to, again, like Death by Piano, my much more theatrical electronic project, which is sort of like more is more and in your face and has all of this hopefully artful, artifice around it. This is kind of just,
Much more vulnerable in a sense too.
yeah.
Is Now I know we're watching this concert now. Will there be a way, and you might have said it before, that people can see that that other album release with the saxophonist? Is that going to be on streaming somewhere, or will that be a visual that people can see, or was it just recorded audio only? Or
Great question. Yeah, I will be releasing a couple on my YouTube channel.
yep,
I'll be releasing a couple of the
yeah,
singles soon. I
yeah.
can't tell you exactly when, but
Keep people in
soon.
suspense.
And then next year, I will release a full audio
Yeah.
recording of that show with that instrumentation, and then eventually release all of the videos since I was able to capture both.
And so that gives the audience here another reason to subscribe to your YouTube channel, because then they will get notifications when this song does come out. What is the YouTube channel, Kalen Music, or how do they? Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and if
Simple
people
enough.
go to my website,
Yep.
then they'll see links to everything
Links to
there at
everything.
kalenmusic.com.
Excellent.
And I believe the videos will be up on your YouTube channel as well, and the link to mine. So thank you
Excellent.
so much for capturing everything so beautifully there.
Yeah, no problem. And so without further ado, because I know we talked about these songs and people want to hear what Dan does for the magic and then what you do on the solo song as well. So let's hear those songs. We'll be right back with two more songs. So stick with us, everybody. Thanks again, Kalen. We'll be right back.
I hate it when you're stone cold in front of me. Nobody looks sexier than ever when you're also being mean. I'm no Medusa, I'm supposed to be a queen. You are an island and I am the sea. You are an island and baby I'm the sea. Can't you feel me? I'm laughing at your shores. Or are you just choosing to ignore? I'm sorry if my salty sting in your skies. You are an island and I am the sea. You are an into the void again. Don't scream, my friend. Steady. Sucked into the void again. Hold tight around the bend. Keep waltzing, friend. 2, 3. Beware of them black eyes when driving. Do we do enough? Do we do enough for the ones we love? You've been here before, raised by these lime green walls, dizzy. You've been down before, breaking bread with your pain. I'm sure that he's a strange company. Beware of them black eyes when driving. Do we do enough? Do we do enough for the ones we love? Beware of them black eyes driving. Do we do enough? Do we do enough for the ones we love? Breathe, beware of the black eyes when driving. Do we do enough? Do we do enough for the ones we love? Beware of the black eyes driving. Do we do enough? Do we do enough for the ones we love? So this will be behind you. Come autumn, you'll be brand new. So breathe, breathe, breathe.
Hey, everybody, we're back again with Kalen. Hopefully, you're all having a good time with the concert at Bayside Bowl. Once again, look for upcoming shows from that show, actually, with Angelica Ferre. That was an awesome show as well. You were there for that. It was a lot of fun.
Great.
It
She's
was
great.
great. And we wanted to kind of wrap up the show with the last 2 songs of the set. What
Yep.
was I know those 2 really were memorable. So the penultimate song of the bunch, what would that one have been again?
The penultimate song was Rabid Girl. So the song we were just talking about was Black Ice.
Okay, yeah.
And then this was Rabid Girl. And Rabid Girl is almost more of like a spoken wordy, punky, Patti Smithy kind of musing on like the underbelly of New York. And that it was very cool because Dan played hand percussion on the kit for that. and it really brought such an interesting flavor. It felt almost like it was cajones, or djembe in moments, it kind of sounded like, and it brings this just like drive to it. I took all the reverb off my vocals, so it was really just kind of dry and gritty and nasty sounding, which I think again like serves the lyrics, serves the song, serves the sad story about the girl who captivated me. Um, and yeah, that's Rabid Girl.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And then you wrapped it up, and with the last song, was there a reason that you had that? Because I know, like for example, the show we'll have upcoming with Angelica, it's one of her great hits that she ends with. Where so was there a reason that the last song was what it was, or it just fit there for other mysterious reasons?
The last song is the title track of the album, Velvet
Okay.
Night.
Yep.
And it sort of felt like I either wanted to start with it or end with it.
Okay.
And just based upon the flow of the songs and playing with Dan, it felt like a really nice way to end the set. To kind of put some punctuation on the set and set things up hopefully well for Angelica, who totally crushed.
Yeah.
Velvet Night is the song that I wrote post a breakup. I went to this place that's known as a real meat market, Union Pool in
Yes.
New York, but they have a fabulous music venue in the back that I was actually just lucky enough to play with my band Death by Piano, opening up for Mother Feather. But every Monday night, this musician named Reverend Vince Anderson plays with his band. His band is full of incredible, like who's who of New York musicians.
Okay.
And it's always a wonderful time, not only because the musicians are great, but because the Rev really delivers a show that makes you think about humanity and what matters, puts things into perspective. And so this was a night where I was kind of raw post breakup. I was in a lyric writing course for Berkeley Music online at that point in time. And so like I had my journal with me, and I think I was doing all of these exercises to try to, take have my tendrils take lyrics and stories and experiences. And I was in a raw place in this venue listening to this show by myself, kind of like swatting off the drunk guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
um and a bunch of these lyrics, I think most of them poured out pretty swiftly. I honestly don't remember whether I wrote a lot of them in the bar that night. I think I wrote some, or whether it was the next day. um but this is the first time that ever recorded it, and for some reason it just really captured to me the heart of the album. This moment that kind of bridged the like me of yesteryear and going through all of these relationships and trying to find myself and
Mm.
my center, um and and then the me that is like now a mom and
Mm.
and in a committed marriage. And because it was really about like knowing that I needed to be on my own in spite of the fact that it felt sad and lonely and a little scary. And I think those are like the pivotal moments. And in retrospect, I'm kind of proud that I wasn't just trying to find someone to hook up with to forget about the pain.
Mhm.
I was like, no, I need this. I need this space. I need to figure this out. I need to live on my own for a little bit. And I'm grateful for all of those experiences and all of that independence that I then had, before doing the work I needed to do to find a relationship that was harmonious with me and my growth. So that's sort of why I titled the whole
Mm.
piece, and I just like the visual of Velvet Night, the sort of indigo
Mm.
plush of that sky, and the way you can get lost in it and how sensual it is. And it became kind of the color of a lot of the cyanotypes that I did for the album. So
Yeah, and I think that talking about that time in your life, sometimes it's like it takes that butterfly effect of that moment that then everything happened the way that it did. And so it was probably a great decision on your part. And I know it isn't easy a lot of times because, yeah, when you're lonely and, and so that's congratulations on that part of it because it seemed like it all worked out well. The one aesthetic choice that I made that I thought fit really well with the concert, as you've seen, because you've seen the footage so far,
Mm-hmm.
that it's black and white. I think that fits with it. I didn't know if you enjoyed that look to it. I think it stylizes it a little bit.
Absolutely. No, I thought it was a really good choice. And there's something, as you were saying, there's something kind of almost classic about these songs and the presentation of them. And I
Yep.
think it really fits that vibe as well. I thought it was a nice choice.
Yeah, it always can add a little bit of something different to things. And a lot of times, especially also with like rock and roll shows, whoever's doing the lights, they can always have some real interesting choices. So then as a filmmaker, when you go black and white, you go, let's take away those choices because sometimes they work, sometimes they're better, sometimes they aren't. Black and white, super subtle. So I
Totally.
was really happy with it. And I really appreciate your time today. And we look forward to the next album. Will you let us know and maybe come back on? We can do some more cuts from that.
I would love that. And yeah, I was just gonna say I love the
Yeah.
black and white too, kind of as we're talking about, having maybe less of the additive and like less of what can happen when you have more production ideas and stripping things back
Yep.
to the very core, to the highest contrast, to the black and white of the keys. So I like that. That
Yeah,
all
yeah.
works conceptually.
Sometimes, especially with that type of songs and everything, that's where it is about less, in my opinion, anyway, as a video guy, flash, and we don't want to have, you want to have. It's very. I think it worked well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much again for being on the show. And like I say, the best way to find you is Kalen Music, whether
Yeah.
that's on YouTube or on your website, kalenmusic.com.
Yeah. KALEN music.com. Thank you, Luigi. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Kalen. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys again next Saturday night. Thanks again. Take care.
Rabid girl, vodka courses through her veins, dirt cake skin, dough as a flame, glassy full of hate and shame, top of beauty breathless and stain. Delancey liquor store refuses to serve her more, cops are on their way. She's a regular, they say. Handle of vodka a day keeps the cops coming her way. Hangovers must come like work, just slicing their way to the jungle floor. Never carry her to safety, just another day. Booze, blood, battles, and blues. Booze, blood, battles, and blues. Yeah, booze, blood, battles, and blues. She's 18 with the forecast is nothing but bad news. Fox Ocean City's deep dark, rough-filled, filthy, friend is clueless. No clear escape, the grave is dug. Feels more like a womb than her mother's loveless cocoon. Found myself in a bar turned church, looking for some guarantee. The Reverend here, he's like a Tom Waits, sipping on cheap whiskey. The band spills its healing and stands over 88 keys. I stay here on my bicycle perch, wrestle to set myself free. On a Friday night in Brooklyn, I'm sad but new as I move towards myself and away from you. With the cold Tecate in hand, with a lime and my heart in my throat. Try to ignore them high on gospel and booze, every last John Doe. They fuck with me like I'm the flower they're the bee, but I'm trying to watch the show. As the ref sings, this might be the first time, my children, or the last time, we just don't know. On a Friday night in Brooklyn, I'm sad but new as I move towards myself and away from you. Out the bar and into the night, I'm going home alone. I don't wanna spoil my solitude with a man in cheap cologne. Sure, I'll go to sleep missing you, but I'm happy, baby, for the room. Now that my nights in New York City mean, now that my nights in Brooklyn, baby, mean, now that my nights in Portland mean, being on my own. On a Friday night in Brooklyn, I'm sad but new as I move towards myself and away from you. On a Friday night in Brooklyn, I'm sad but new as I move towards myself and away from you. Towards myself and away from you. That's your guys' part, ready? Towards myself and away from you. I know we have singers out here, come on. Towards myself and away from you. Yeah, that's nice. Towards myself and away from you. Keep going with it, okay? Towards myself and away from you. Towards myself and away from you. One last time. Towards myself and away from you. Dan Capaldi. I'm Kalen.